This right here, girl, is an ad. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hi everybody, what's going on? Happy holidays. It's your girl BondyBlue. We're back. Okay.
Come on in.
Sorry, y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your
Okay, am I back? Okay. Yo, it's a whole situation, okay, with the new situation. Hi everybody. Happy holidays. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing amazing today. Okay? Listen, I got some good news. And I'm feeling great. Okay, it's going good, girl. We didn't know what it was gonna give. We didn't know, but we're here and it's giving. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to see you guys. We are here for Now That We're Grown Best Man. And listen, girl, I have watched the Best Man final chapters, and yes, I will be reviewing it. I just have to watch the last episode one more time, and I plan to come to y'all this week with that review. Okay, it'll probably maybe be a two-parter like I did Reasonable Doubt. That's another thing. If y'all have not seen my full season review of Reasonable Doubt, please check that out. Okay, there's a part 1 and a part 2. But yes, I cannot wait to get into Best Man, the original, the 1999. It's what you want, boy. It's what you need, boy. We about to give you more of what you looking for. Listen, girl, so many problematic themes all up and through here. But I just want everybody to know, based on character analysis, Bondi is Quentin, Quentin is Bondi. That's how I feel. Okay. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the movie starts off with Harper. Okay. Do I need to explain to everybody who the characters are, or do we know what it is and we just hit a review and then get into the topics? Okay. Y'all know who everybody is. Let's not do this. If you don't know, look it up. Okay. Harper gets home. He's letting his girlfriend Robin borrow his kitchen. Robin is a chef. Okay. She got this man house in disarray, and Harp's a little uptight. So he walks in and he starts fixing shit and putting things back the way they're supposed to go. And we're just seeing the obvious differences between Robin and Harper. Okay, Oprah wants his brand new book Unfinished Business to be a part of her book of the month club, and everybody knows how big, especially in the 90s when Oprah's show was still on, how huge it was to get a first publication on Oprah's book club. Okay, huge deal for Harper's book Unfinished Business, which is basically a dramatization of what happened with him and his college mates when they were in college. Okay, so after she finished cooking, they get in a tub, y'all, and it's one of them scenes you always remember as some shit you wish you could do, but ain't nobody clogging up no drains. You could do it, y'all. Y'all could do it. Maybe when I finally, get a bathtub that's worth showing off to people, I will do something ignorant, like just go to Whole Foods and get a whole bunch of petals from roses and put it in water and, just, be extra. Maybe like a... be extra for no reason. Do a Tupac pose. You know what I'm saying? Just put buku fake jewelry down there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it was definitely a scene just for the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? To see them in the tub together with the rose petals floating on top, all different colors, pink and red. Okay? I see that I see him pausing, y'all. I see the pausation happening. As long as the sound is still good, we're going to keep it pushing. I'm just going to put up this graphic right here. Let me know if y'all are still hearing me clearly, okay? So, as I said, they are in the tub, and he's talking about this book tour that he's about to go on. And she tells him that he never lives enough for the moment, always worrying about the next thing. She tells him that she can be there with him forever, this moment. And he gets scared. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what you mean forever? And she's like, chill, okay? I'm just saying that we have a really good time together. And you said it yourself that, you've never been with a woman like me before. You've never been in a relationship this long before. So just admit it. We fit together. And y'all, now that I have seen the show, it brings the movie into such great perspective of what was actually happening in the moment versus what we thought was happening in the moment. And that's why doing The Best Man for Now That We're Grown at this point was amazing. And I'm so glad that the show came out that way I could do this, because I feel like there were certain things we definitely were not paying attention to. And this moment right here is one of them. Biggest issue in their relationship is that Harper doesn't know how to be in the moment, and Robin wants to force something that's not fitting. Y'all don't fit if you have to convince him that y'all fit. He should want to fit with you. It shouldn't be you telling him all of these things that, he said that makes it so that you guys fit. It felt like Robin was forcing this relationship. That's what it felt like. And I don't think I felt that way the first time I watched it. It kind of just felt like a man that's scared to commit to something that he's already in. You know what I'm saying? And the commitment issue comes from, him feeling like maybe she wasn't perfect enough. She wasn't as driven as Jordan. And he's comparing her to Jordan because Jordan is the soulmate. In essence, if Jordan is the soulmate, Robin shouldn't have ever married Harper. If there was always a woman that she was being compared to. And she knew she was being compared to Jordan because she read the book too. And I mean, during this movie, she expressed how uncomfortable she felt with his soulmate connection to Jordan. Okay, so if this man has a connection with a woman like that, it just makes me wonder why she would have still, married him. But then I understand, now looking back as an older woman, in the moment, things feel like they're happening as they're supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really fight it because you feel like it's supposed to happen. I think at some point Robin and Harper thought that because their relationship had lasted so long and because they still did enjoy each other, that they were supposed to just stay together and work it out. And the things that they were going through were just things that you go through at a young age versus actually being, not yoked, not equally yoked. Okay, like, because that's really what it was. They, I think, were too different for this relationship. A lot of times, I think in relationships, you think that opposites attract. But in this situation, I kind of feel like they were too different, but because they were both a catch, it seemed like it's what they should do. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't really seeing it in the moment. But this was the first moment that I saw it, y'all. This was the first moment when I was watching it this time around where I was like, red flag. Because she was like, just face it, we fit together. And I was like, yeah, no. That's not how it should be. That's not how it should be. Okay? She says, you love me, don't you? Another thing that you shouldn't really have to ask somebody. You know what I mean? Like, when people love you. You shouldn't really have to ask that question. And, he says, yes, but it's not that simple. And she says it is to her. And then he gets quiet and she gets upset and she gets out of the tub. And it's like you were so upset in that moment that you took yourself out of the romantic moment that y'all were in. Which to me should have been a sign that you're not happy within the relationship. The tub is a damn metaphor for the relationship, girl. Okay? He made you feel away. He made you feel away. And instead of sticking to that feeling and understanding why you felt that way in the first place, because if she would have really questioned why she was upset, for real, then she probably would have figured out that her relationship with him is not as good as she thinks it is. But I think, once again, we're in the 90s, okay? We're in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s, and the fact that you have a black man that dates a black woman that is successful for art, and you're an artistic person yourself, trying to figure it out, and this man provides you with some type of stability while you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see how in the time frame it worked. But yeah, no. Now that we're looking back, girl, now that we're grown, red flags in the first scene with these two. Okay? So she drops Harper off at the airport on the way there, and she's worried about meeting his friends because of this character in his book named Kendall, who is his soulmate. As I've already said, that was an issue for her. And she mentions it to him, and he tells her that he thought he had finally escaped drama in this relationship. Another red flag. Harper, what the fuck are you talking about? Harper, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no such thing as escaping drama in a relationship, because a relationship is composed of two different people that are not going to always have the same objective, the same thought, the same feeling, the same vibe, the same energy, the same mood. They're not going to always be on the same page all the time. So I think there was some type of fear put on Robin that she had to be perfect, so she wasn't the girl that Harper complains about. So she's not the girl that Harper throws away so easily. So let me pretend to, or not even pretend to be perfect, but acquiesce to his every fucking whim so he won't throw me away. And I feel like most women should understand that energy. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like as a woman, that's something I've seen a lot of women do, is at some point or another be a people pleaser in their relationship. Ignore how they feel, ignore their discomfort, because they don't want to lose the person, because society tells you that if you have a Harper Stewart, you need to hold on to that man, Savannah girl. You know what I'm saying? Even by the time we got to the end of the show, y'all, and I'm taking it to the show, not to give y'all any spoilers or anything, because this is not a spoiler, but Lance, I can remember Lance having a conversation with Robin about how Harper is such a good guy. He may have his issues, but he's such a good guy. As if him being a good guy is enough of a reason for her to be in a relationship with him. As if him being a good guy is enough of a good reason to ignore that he does not give in the way that she gives in the relationship. It doesn't feel it's reciprocatory. It doesn't feel like it's being reciprocated. Okay? And so, yes, a lot of people said that Sanaa Lathan stole every scene that she was in during this movie. Which is so funny to me because I feel like, I don't know if that was the case. Like, I enjoyed this movie because of the ensemble cast, but I can see how y'all can say that because she very much commanded in this role. But yeah, y'all, Harper is definitely giving like emotional abuse tease to Robin in this moment. Instead of telling her that, you know, you don't have anything to be scared of. I'm just going to see them. I know how you feel about the book, but I'm bringing you there because I want you to meet them too. Like, it should have been a moment of making her feel calmer about the situation, not trying to guilt her into ignoring how uncomfortable this is for her, because it would be uncomfortable for anybody. Every single one of his friends, when they got there, asked him, why did he wait to bring her? And it's because he wanted that time to figure out what was going on between him and Jordan. He felt like that was he and Jordan's second chance. But in case it wasn't, he needed to keep his safety net, Robin, in the bag. Men do that all the time. They'll have their choice between the woman that they really want to be with and the woman that is easier for them. The one that makes them feel like she's not going anywhere. And they'll choose that woman because for them, it's more important to have somebody there waiting on you than to have somebody that actually excites you. Like, I've seen it before. So that's why I'm saying, like, that was definitely what he was doing in that moment. Okay? Right, what does a good guy mean at 42? I believe it's overused. He lacked in so many core areas as a person. Come on. Okay, listen. That was a good comment, girl. I had to read that. I also didn't recognize that Harper and Robin were only together for 2 years. Yes, at that point. I told y'all I'm not doing Crooklyn. Leave me alone. How many times I gotta tell y'all that? I am not sniffing glue with y'all. Leave me alone, okay? Anyway. So, yeah, another red flag, the way Harper handled Robin and her discomfort with this very uncomfortable ass situation, talking about he thought he'd finally escape drama in this relationship. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? As somebody that obviously thrives on drama, being a writer, how dare you? But anyway, so we get to DC. I believe, you know, everybody's in DC. So Murch picks Harper up from the airport. He's a teacher and he's teaching at an inner city school. He also is, I guess, just finishing law school. He has to pass the bar. He has an opportunity to work at a very prestigious law firm, but he cares about the kids. He's, you know, trying to be there for the kids. He also explains that he had to take a gun from one of those kids. And Harper's like, oh man, you gotta let that shit go. You gotta leave them little niggas where they at. You know what I'm saying? That was the vibe. And that's not what Murch wants to do. You know, there was very much pressure on Murch for him to, you know, be a lawyer or be a teacher. Either go with your heart or go with your brain type of situation. And I feel like we should have saw a little bit more of that in this movie, because I feel like we didn't know what decision he was really gonna make or how that was gonna play out. And then by the time we get to the television show, we realize he's still a teacher. They still own a school, but he's also a well-respected attorney. And I feel like we missed the well-respected attorney part, because being an attorney means you have to be assertive and articulate. And they played Murch as someone who wasn't really that, you know, he was very intelligent, but not exactly articulate in the way that a lawyer would have to be in order to assert his point in court. You know what I'm saying? He may not have been a trial attorney, you know, but I'm just saying, I really wish they would have shown more of Murch's character, besides just telling us things about him. You know what I'm saying? Because it really left that simp character on him when he really wasn't that. There was nothing simple about Murch. Believe Murch became but he was more than just a principal. He wasn't even a principal. They eventually owned that school. Harper was such a judgmental friend. Yes, he was. He was constantly projecting his expectations into his friends instead of respecting them of who they are as a person in their profession. Exactly. And this became even more clear with Quentin. But absolutely, in this moment, coming at Murch for, the kids, it made him feel a way. Murch felt the need to defend himself to that comment. But yes, showing how Harper definitely likes to bust everybody's balls, okay? Speaking of busting balls, Harper busts his balls about Shelby, okay? Shelby, played by Melissa DeSouza, okay? I had to do that because I do love her name. Shelby is, for lack of a better term, a bossy, elitist bitch. You love her though, okay? But she's bossy, she's demeaning, but she's that girl, she's pretty, she has her shit together, she's smart, and eventually she becomes a housewife. But before then, there was definitely more of an intellectual energy to Shelby. Kind of more like coming from a rich family. Like, they kind of made Shelby seem like a gold digger, but it's a gold digger that comes from a rich family versus a gold digger that's trying to make it because if she doesn't have a man, she won't make it. Like, no, Shelby never gave that. But anyway, where was I? I'm sorry, all the kids outside of my window are doing the most. Shelby did not like the way Harper made her look in his book. She said, next time you want to characterize me in one of your books, don't, okay? He asked how did everybody read the book? Because we find out that Murch read the book and he got it from Jordan. Jordan got an advanced copy because she works for NBC, I believe, or TMZ, BET. I think it was BET. I think she worked for BET at the time because they were talking about the Tavis Smiley show and Teen Summit. So yeah, I don't even know if they said it, but Jordan works for BET, okay? So they go and see Jordan, and she basically seems to be producing a segment. Murch gets him to tell, Murch gets Harp to tell him about the one time that he and Jordan almost hooked up in college. And we remember this scene, y'all. This is everybody's favorite scene because they're, studying, they fall asleep, they're tired, and then Harper puts on Stevie Wonder. Do 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 do, and around the earth. Well, y'all know the words. She's revolving. I don't know the words to this one always. And what is it? Y'all gotta sing it for me because I don't know the words to this one. Yo, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. Okay? Y'all know the song. Okay? But yes, everybody in the comments, this is entering the forehead kiss. Okay? The forehead kiss. Yes, the kiss on the frontal lobe to get the panties moist, as they would say. Okay? Because it's endearing. And as Jordan will say, damn near erotic. Shit, you almost got me with it. And this was the time that he almost got her with it. Okay, he kissed her on the forehead. And if you do the forehead kiss right, it's supposed to eventually lead to the kiss on the nose and then the kiss on the mouth. Or straight for the mouth, depending on who you're fucking around with. Either way, they start to make out. They're taking off clothes. Tay Diggs has no shirt on. And then all of a sudden, the song starts to skip. And then Nia slash Jordan is out of the trance that she was in. And in this moment, I was like, why didn't you fuck him? Why? Why didn't she him? For what? What are we knocking for? We're in college. Him. Like, oh my God. But do you know why? I think that, and this is what I'm supposing, the reason why Jordan did not have sex with him is because she knew that her life would be about him. Having sex with somebody that you are that close to as a friend, it's only going to get you caught up romantically, emotionally. And once she did that, she knew it was not going to be about Jordan and Jordan's career anymore. It was going to be about Harper and Jordan, and then Jordan's career, especially because they were meeting each other at this moment of, growing and exploration. So what if what if he broke her heart? She might be able to get over it if it wasn't somebody that she depended on, the way she did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she absolutely depended on him in a way that she was not willing to lose if the sex part didn't work out. So I think when she stopped herself, it was because I can't fuck with Harper, because if I fuck with Harper, I'm gonna fuck with Harper. I can't. I can't. I gotta focus on me. And that was the decision that she made for herself. And honestly, looking back on it, I wish she had them, but then I also understand why she didn't. And I'm glad that she didn't, because I feel like Jordan needed to do everything that Jordan did for herself. You know what I'm saying? Eventually we get to her having to do the self-care thing. But the career is the beginning of choosing yourself over choosing to, be somebody's B character in their life. Because that's basically what a lot of, you play background to somebody at some point. If you get with a man, and especially for a lot of women, they feel like a man worth having, you're going to have to sit in his back seat at some point. And a lot of women don't want to sit in your back seat. A lot of women feel like, nigga, I am driving, and if you ain't gonna be a co-pilot, then I can't be in your car. And Harper is the type of man, I think, especially at that age and, in that era, that probably would have needed somebody more like Robin, which is why he chose Robin, because Robin would be at home waiting on him while he was out in the world. And for men, a lot of them are too egotistical. And men, y'all don't want to hear this, but it's the truth of the matter. This is why a lot of y'all, don't be happy in these monogamous marriages and in relationships that y'all are in. Because y'all really would prefer to be in a non-monogamous relationship. But you can't deal with the fact that your woman would be out there doing exactly what you're doing. And that's where the imbalance and the bullshit comes in. Because if Harper could actually deal with the woman like Jordan, he would have tried to be with Jordan and allowed Jordan to still do whatever she needed to do. Okay? If he could have done that, their relationship would have been perfect, because he would have been doing him at sometimes, she would be doing her, and then they would find a way to meet back with one another when their schedules will allow it. You know what I'm saying? It would probably have been the ideal relationship for both of them. But I don't think a lot of men, ego-wise, can take it, because they have friends like Lance and all of them that are expecting you to control a woman in order to show that your woman is of value. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's literally insane. Okay? Y'all, this cute little kid outside on his tricycle, trying to get them pedals together, boy. Okay, but anyway, so Jordan, after we got the flashback, Jordan comes out. Well, first she went to go get herself together before she sees him. She's your boy, you got this. And her boss Anita is already out there introducing herself to Harper, because they want Harper to come on BT, do Teen Summit, do the Tavis Smiley show. Okay, is it Tavis Smiley? Is it Tavis? I think that was. Girl, I can't forget. It was a long time ago. Jordan is nervous, doesn't want to hug Harper for too long. Oh, okay. Please get your dick away from my nether regions. Okay. Jordan is Mia and Lance's wedding planner. Okay, so both of their families are calling her every 5 minutes about something that she don't even need to be involved in, like the cousins wanting her to hook them up with guys and shit. And so she made the mistake of hooking up some of Mia's cousins with Quentin, and now the poor girls is calling and crying over the nigga. You a charming motherfucker. Okay, listen, hearing Nia Long curse is hilarious to me. I'm just saying. She hits her R's so hard. Okay, that's that California shit. But then she mentions to Harper that Quentin also has the book. Entering Quentin, okay? Quentin Spivey. played by Terrence Howard. Y'all, Quentin and Terrence are the same person as far as I'm concerned. But do you know what I found out? I read an article before I did this review today, and it said that he actually based Quentin's character off of Harold Perrineau, which is Murch. So apparently before Harold Perrineau, got married and stuff, he was quite the ladies' man, which is not surprising, but is surprising. But it's because he's such a good actor. He often plays people with like weird personalities and stuff like that. But I was like, no, I could definitely see it, because like Harold Perrineau is a really nice looking man, especially when he had them locks back in the day. Like I just kind of looked at him for a second and I was like, yeah, if he would have did that thing where he, looks down and raises his eyebrow at me, yeah, I might have got swept up. Listen, something about brown skinned people with pretty teeth does it for me, okay? So I was like, okay, but I would have had no idea that that's where he got Quentin's character from. Like, got it from Harold, who plays Murch. Hilarious, okay? But yes, Quentin Spivey playing the guitar upside down. Okay, listen, y'all know how we felt back in the day. This was 1999. So when Terrence Howard came on the screen playing the guitar, you know what I'm saying? And then hit the after, everybody's panties could have been thrown at the movie screen, okay? We may not like Lucius Lyon now, but when he was just Terrence and looking and sounding and acting the way he did back then, he was on the list, okay? He was on the list. This is literally one of my favorite roles that he's ever played. Okay, so he sits down with Harper, and Harper starts to do the judgmental thing. Well, now you played the guitar. Last time we talked, you was doing, you were writing, and before that you were, doing this and doing that. And then he was like, look, nigga, something to add to the repertoire. Okay, ever since he said that has been a part of my vocabulary. Okay, adding things to the repertoire, okay? Harper is feeling a way about how scatterbrained Q is. And Q tells him that the book is going to be a hit. Contrary to, whatever's going on between us, that book is definitely going to be a hit. And Quentin, I think, read the book in a short amount of time and knew what was going on immediately. So as Harper is doing this, you still haven't gotten your life together, judgmental shit, Quentin is just kind of sitting back like, I know you fucked Mia. Like, just kind of sitting back like, I know you put your dirty laundry in that fucking book, bruh. Like, I know you did that shit. Like, it was the energy. It was hilarious to me, okay? So Quentin calls him out for rewriting history, but not embellishing on his character. Like, you ain't had to put me out there like that, talking about my mommy issues is the reason why I treat these bitches the way I do. I was just like, not these bitches. I was like, yeah. You may not want to hear it, Quentin, but Harper probably got his assessment of you correct. Harper was like, so where is the book? And just as he asked that question, y'all, here come Lance fine ass child. I swear for God, if God ain't never made nothing in his life, Morris Chestnut in motherfucking 1999 playing a rich football player with a Jesus piece on, with a black suit and perfectly waved hair and skin and mustache and teeth and real good center of gravity right up and through here. All the women, you know what I mean when I say good center of gravity right up and through here. Listen, when he walked through the door, okay, do it. Okay, listen. You can say what you want to about Morris. Don't you ever put a ew emoji next to no Morris Chestnut. How dare you? Okay? I love Morris, okay? Morris still look good to me. His character is problematic as fuck in this movie and in the show. But Morris Chestnut will always, like, Morris Chestnut has the Denzel effect for me. He's getting older, but he still can get it. Okay? For instance, as long as Denzel has those waves in his hair, Okay, remember that one movie he was in? Mark Wahlberg had goals and shit. I was like, whoa, damn, nigga, way to switch it up on us. Okay, I don't care what nobody say. Don't y'all dare play with no damn Morris Chestnut like that, because baby, when he bent the corner, looking good as he wanna look, I was just like, oh Lord. I forgot how fine this nigga was in this movie, bro. Oh Lord. Okay, I was looking for affection, so I decided to go. And it's not even the same movie, but they was playing this song when he came into the scene on Two Can Play That Game. Throw that dick in my direction, I'll be out of control. Okay, listen. Okay, just you and me. Let's see if you could bring the nasty out of me. Oh, no, Nasaki, ooh, Yes, I love it. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back into it now that I'm done talking about how fine he was in this movie. It was the way he was walking, too. It was the way he was walking. It was the grin. It was just everything. It was everything. Okay, anyway. And I told you I met him in person. He was very nice. But yes, here come Lance fine ass walking in. He's the man. Okay, he's a number one draft pick, I think, at this point. Signed $1 million contract to play for a big team. Okay, got that paper, got that Skrilla. About to get married to his college sweetheart, who he describes as his little angel. Oh, we gonna get into it, y'all. There's some things we must discuss, okay? And then here comes Shelby hating ass, okay? She calls Harper Langston Snooze. I said not Richard Wrong and Langston Snooze. Okay, y'all better stop playing. Shelby was sharp, bitch. Okay, a dumb bitch don't know those reading references. Okay, okay. She said she heard about the book and she didn't like the way he characterized her. Okay, she wants Julian to bring her to Saks to go shopping. It'll only take a few hours, Julian. Come on, bring me. And he was like, well, I told you I was supposed to be hanging with the fellas. And she was like, do I really mean this? Like, do you really love me, Julian? Like, I forgot what the line was, but it was definitely like, if you love me, you won't let me go by myself. Child. Manipulative as fuck. Everybody looking at Murch like, don't bitch up, Murch. And Murch, oh, Shelby. You know, he bitched up. He's a man after his own heart, okay? So as he walks off, Shelby turns around and looks at everybody like, bitches, and walk off. Shelby was too dramatic. Yes, she was. Okay. I love Harold Perrineau, but he gave simp in the movie. Let me tell y'all something. I understand what you mean by this, because I feel like essentially nobody wants to be with a man that can be ran over. But I also feel like I don't like that word simp. I don't like that shit. Because I feel like a lot of times when they say a man is a simp, they're really speaking on him being like respectable. Him having care with the way he handles women. Like, nobody should be a pushover. Women shouldn't be a pushover either. But y'all celebrate that dumb shit every day. Oh, look at her taking the cheat nigga back. Protect her at all cost. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as a woman, you know, shows up in the world as problematic, everybody feel like she shouldn't have a man. But a nigga can be as problematic as fuck, and everybody feel like, you know, stick beside him. Fuck. So I don't really like that word, y'all. I really don't like that word, because I feel like a lot of times that just means, you know, don't be a dog ass nigga. Well, you know what I mean. Like the way they talk about Russell Wilson. I don't like that shit. But yeah, y'all. But I do understand what y'all mean about Murch. He did have to nut up, okay? He did. But he also had to find somebody that he could be sweet like that with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to find a woman who he could be sweet with. And once he did, he never had to worry about being emasculated in that way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it really just takes for people to have confidence in themselves. That's really what it's about. Okay, hold up, because I lost my notes. So let me go back. Um, Lance takes Harper and Jordan. They drop Jordan off. No, not yet. Lance takes Harper and Jordan to the house so that they can see the brand new house that they moving into, and so everybody can see Mia. And we, see Mia coming down the stairs, like an angel in slow mo, and her white smiling. And y'all, we really gonna have to get into Mia because essentially, I feel like Mia might have played Angel, but Mia was a fucking savage, and I love her for it. I'ma just say that. So Mia loves Harper. I'm so proud of you, Harper. And she, asks, "Where's your girlfriend? We can't wait to meet her." And he says, "Oh, I wanted to hang with the boys for a minute, so she's gonna come for the day of the wedding." And she was like, "Oh, Harper, you're always so secretive." And then they show off that big ass diamond ring, and then her and Lance kiss. "Oh, I love you too, baby." And then Jordan is like, "Oh my God, can y'all quit it with the leave it to beaver shit?" Okay, which I love. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, because it is like, can y'all give us a fucking break with all this performative shit y'all got going on? Because in essence, y'all, Mia and Lance's relationship is extremely performative. Everybody's pretending to be perfect, but there's a cognitive dissonance about it, okay? And the cognitive dissonance, I think, goes along with their strong religious background. Both of them, both Mia and Lance, are very strong-minded Christians. And so they also have cognitive dissonance, meaning that Lance has cheated on Mia consistently over and over again in their relationship, but he gets to be treated as if he's the perfect man, even though he's dogged her out repeatedly. And then Mia, as she's floating down the stairs and smiling so hard at Harper, has it in the back of her mind that, that's right, I fucked your best friend and he's still friends with you. And here he is in our living room. And I can't wait to meet his new girlfriend. But I know in the back of my mind that when you were slutting around on me, I fucked your best friend. And guess what? I don't feel guilty about it at all. Matter of fact, when I think about it, it gives me joy in my heart. I got the joy down in my heart. Okay? Like, that's the hilarious part to me. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, come on, comment. Okay, yep, that's exactly it. Lance wanted a pure woman, but he was a dog. Mia wanted the reformed man, and she really did what she did. Okay? And the thing about it is, I feel like on some psychological level, Lance knew it. Maybe, and I'm saying psychological because I feel like he didn't know, but it was in the back of his mind because he knew at some point he was going to have to straighten up or shit was going to get nasty. Meaning that he was going to see Mia for who Mia could be if he pushed her to that part. You know what I'm saying? Push her to that place. Mia and Lance remind me a lot of my childhood buddies' marriages. Really hilarious. Yep, Lance is a hypocrite, wanting a virgin while still fucking around. And I really do feel like they glazed over his cheating. They glazed over it, y'all. In the movie, by the time we got to Best Man Holiday, the image of Lance for who he was in this movie was completely erased. And we didn't see that again until the show. And then, we're reminded that he was a hoe at one point. We're reminded of that. But we're like expected to believe in this movie that marriage was the cure for promiscuity. Lance really believed that. And I think that's where Lance's, cognitive dissonance and delusion came into play. Because I feel like in real life, there's no way that Lance would have stayed faithful the entire marriage just because they got married. Like, not realistic at all. And I think that if Mia had not gotten sick and passed away, it probably would have showed through. Because if you paid attention, it seemed like Mia sped out them kids and didn't even have enough time before she was sick and passing away. And that's not a spoiler. Y'all seen Best Man Holiday. Okay? But yeah. Hold on, let me see. Can I come on camera? I'm trying to see if I can come on camera now. Okay. But yes, back to it. Leave it to Beaver bullshit for sure, because what their relationship consists of is not what it shows. So we get this flashback to college when Mia was introduced to Lance by Harper. Lance was a hoe, and Mia is a smart, good girl who works at the paper with Harper. They both, she's very intelligent. She walks up, Harper with this, and this. And then, Lance is like, introduce me, man, introduce me. And Lance just finished telling Harper about all of these women he just finished sleeping with, all of his sexual escapades. And she walks up, good girl with the bun and a turtleneck, on her job, on her business, and he wants to be introduced. And Harper didn't really know, man, Mia's a good girl. Come on, man. So he introduces her. And he was like, so you see me play? Because she was like, oh, you look bigger on TV. Already playing mind games with him. Mia was already playing mind games. Mia knew exactly who the fuck Lance Sullivan was. Not only do you watch football, you go to the same school with him, and you are a follower of football to the point that you know how to give him critique on his game. Okay, she was like, you really need to be a little bit easier on your knees. You're not going to be able to make it through the full season if you keep playing hard like that on your knees. Like when she killed him with that shit. So I'm a good girl. I look perfect to you. I'm pretending like I don't know you. So I'm not a gold digger and I'm not thirsty. And on top of that, I know your game. I know the game that you love. She had him just like that. Because she's different than all of the other girls. She's playing a role. Mia is playing a role, y'all. Mia knew exactly who that nigga was as soon as she met him. But she was playing a role. And I didn't realize that at first. Yeah, that football critique got him. It really, really did. Savage, bougie, ratchet. Okay? Listen. I think that should let you know like how astute she was. You know what I'm saying? So I think she also knew that he was going to be a problem. Harper always blamed himself, felt responsible for her being hurt in the relationship, but she knew what she was getting herself into. And I think she knew she had to be the hurt girlfriend a lot in order to be the wife who he's now forever going to be on his knees apologetic to, because I remained and accepted him for all of this bullshit, even though I knew this is what he was going to give. Okay? Like, it's funny because she was much more astute than they gave her credit for in this movie. Harper tells Jordan that she could have asked for a copy of his book. And she says, why? You wouldn't have given it to me. She was like, listen, I want the exclusive, Harper. Don't even play yourself thinking that I'm that thirsty to find, to read your book, okay? This is just because your book is a hit, nigga. Save the sloppy seconds for Oprah, all right? And he was like, if it's really all of that, you know what I'm saying? Why you can't look me in my eye? And so she looks him in his eye. I love this moment. I love whenever Nia Long raises her eyebrow. And she asked him, she was like, Harper, why'd you really leave your girl at home? Because he's trying to make it seem like her being interested in the book was about him. So she's like, oh, okay, so we playing that game. We trying to call each other out right now. So you tell me why you didn't come down here with your girl. Inquiring minds want to know, nigga, why? And it's because he really wanted to try and see what was going to happen between them, but he wasn't ready to be honest about that. He wasn't ready to be honest about that. So she pulled his card on that one, okay? But he says to hang with the guys. And she was like, mm-hmm. And she goes inside and then he goes back with Lance and Murch and Quentin. And they all play cards, right? Love this scene. One of the best scenes in the movie. Lets us know a lot about the characters. The guys play cards and talk shit. Quentin is calling Murch a punk-ass loser. So already we're peeping the way Murch is bullied in the friend group, right? Q is a hoe, but Harper is your serial monogamist who drops a woman as soon as she steps outside of his little boundary. It's giving uptight. It's giving emotional abuser. Okay? The type of man that doesn't realize he's the problem and will always put the fault at someone else's feet. Okay? We saw him do that to Jordan in this movie. We'll get to it. But he often does shit and then blames somebody else for it. But then is always the person to call everybody else out on how they're not being accountable. Murch says because none of them are Jordan. The reason why he never stays with any of those women is because they aren't Jordan. And he's always comparing all of the women to Jordan. Everyone but Murch apparently knew about Jordan and Harper kissing in college. Yeah, you know, everybody say that Murch couldn't, Murch can't keep no secret, child. And Harp said that he's good with Robin. Their relationship has been drama free for 2 years, okay? And I'm just like, the fact that the only reason you like Robin is because it's drama free, like, give me a fucking break. The fact that Mia was a cute brown girl in the 90s and still pulled a dark-skinned player in the 90s, nah, she was a beast. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Lance says that Jordan is too sassy and independent. And this is when we find out just how toxic Lance is, okay? Because Lance says this shit about Jordan. But when Mia passed away eventually, Jordan was the other mother. Jordan was the co-parent. She was the one who was also responsible for his children's well-being. So I think it's so funny that she ended up being the partner that he needed in his life, even though he categorized her as not needing a man and too sassy and independent. And I was like, what does it look like for a woman to need a man? Like, a woman has to be totally, destitute on the side of the fucking road, if not for the fact that you came and saved her in order for her to not be a lesbian? Like, what is going on? He said a woman like that don't need no man. She's one step from lesbian. And I often wonder, what do men think their value is to a woman? What do you think your value is to a woman? I think it's crazy because Murch called it out about how they only want to have relationships with women who financially need them, and they disparage women who don't. But then they talk bad about gold diggers. Like Murch says, but you always dogging women for being gold diggers, but you can't take an educated sister who makes more money than you? No. Lance said no. I can't take that. No. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you're being honest, but that's so crazy. Like, when are you going to understand that this shit doesn't make sense, and maybe you should change your mindset about it because it doesn't make sense? You can't be mad at women for seeking a man for his money and then say that you don't want to be with a woman that takes care of herself because she doesn't need a man for money. It's like, what the fuck? What are y'all even talking about? What are y'all even talking about? Okay? But that's the way a lot of men think. Lance is the representation of the way a lot of men think about women. They only want to be with a woman when she is acquiescing in every way possible. What did he say? A woman's virtue is a man's greatest gift or some shit like that? And I was like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Because do you know what that means when men say that a woman's virtue is a man's greatest gift? The fact that you're a woman is untouched by other men is the greatest or the highest value that she can have because she's untouched by other men. But do you know how much bullshit that is? That is such bullshit, first of all. And do you know why that's such bullshit in this movie? Because as he recited that in his vows to Mia as they were getting married, he's thinking about her getting fucked by his best friend. And he still married her, still put her on a pedestal, still had a beautiful marriage, beautiful children, still had everything he wanted out of Mia. But that virtue shit, it's because it's not real. It's made up. Just like they told y'all that, we've now found out that your hymen and your virginity are not the same thing. Your virginity is a social construct. Like, the understanding of the fact that your body doesn't necessarily show signs of sex by breaking the hymen. That's not actually what happens every time. And you could have had sex and still not had your hymen broken. You could have your hymen broken and not have had sex. Then what the fuck is virtue? In men's minds, virtue is a woman being untouched by other men as much as possible. A woman not having a lot of numbers. Meanwhile, he's allowed to dip his thing in any and everybody and shoot off whatever he's received from any and everybody into you. But somehow, if you've had half as many, partners as he has, you now have no value. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I'm just saying, because that virtue thing, that's what he meant by that. That's why Mia coming off like a fucking angel and being perfect. Like, she had to be perfect in his eyes in order for her to be worthy of being his wife. And that is so unrealistic and so unfair, because he wasn't perfect at all. And a part of the perfection that he saw in her was the fact that she was able to live with his imperfections and still love him. That's one of the things he valued in her. So what does it say about you if the greatest thing that you value in your woman, you can't even give back to her? What does that say? Probably that you're undeserving of receiving it if you can't give it back to her. That's why he had to forgive her for cheating. Not even really cheating, but fucking Harper. He had to forgive her. He had to. I'm just saying, like, it just makes sense because of the cognitive dissonance thing that they have. If you can ignore the truth of a matter because of the picture that it paints, then you're going to have to continue to ignore the truth of a matter for the picture that it paints. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, so Q says that his woman, Quentin says that his woman, and he's talking about Murch. Murch's woman will run him regardless, whether, the woman is like Mia or like Jordan, she's still gonna run him. And as we saw in his relationship with Candace didn't run him. Not at all. Their relationship wasn't even really like that. We found out, eventually Candace is more like Murch than we thought. Harper asked Lance what made him want to marry Mia. Especially now, you're about to get a $1 million football contract and you've been cheating on that girl the whole relationship. And now you're going to have buku pussy being thrown at you now that you got this money. And this is when he says, he's sown his wild oats. He's had all of the sex he needs to have. Q doesn't believe in monogamy. Harp calls him a bullshit artist, and Quentin kind of got mad. And he says, man, listen, these bitches just as scandalous as us niggas. And Q says to Lance, oh, because, of course, he doesn't think that way. Lance doesn't think that because not Mia. Mia not like that. And so Quentin says, oh, yeah, you don't think all of the times you done cheated on Mia, you don't think Mia ever tiptoed out on you? How you know? And he was like, cuz, nigga, the pussy purrs to my dick. When he said the curves to my dick, whenever he said that shit, I died laughing because I remember niggas used to throw that line out all the time in the early 2000s. Lance says he knows his little angel. And Quentin says, and if she did, she would be well within her right, don't you think? Because we know what he been doing. He been fucking over that girl. But just the thought of her getting back at him, he hops over the table and yokes Quentin up. And y'all see this picture on the right side of the screen at the bottom. The look in Quentin's eyes when he yoked him up is literally one of my favorite parts of this movie. Because, yeah, he should be scared. He should even fight back. But it's none of that. He not fighting back and he not scared. He looking at him like, yeah, nigga, I got you. And it was hilarious because all he could do is let him go and walk away. And then he was like, now whose turn is it? I love Quentin, bro. Because Lance was on bullshit. That's why I said I'm Quentin. Because I can sit there and talk to my friends. And if they sit up there and uphold some bullshit that we all know is bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to call them out on the shit. Safe space. But I'm going to call them out on the shit. And I feel like in that moment, that's what happened. Quentin was calling Lance out on Lance's bullshit. Yeah, Q was 100% right. Wait, people really think that a woman is a V will be molded around the man's P? Child, listen, they really used to say that, child, and mean it with their chest. Quentin wasn't scared because he pulled Lance's cars while checking Harper at the same time. He was showing Harper exactly how Lance will react. That's a good point. That's a good point. Q must be related to the DeBarges. Okay? Yeah, Q was pressing everybody's buttons, and that's what I loved about him. Okay? So, hold up. Let me go back to my notes. Harper finds his book, but before he can actually get to the book, Lance comes in and takes it out of his hands, and he tells him how blessed he is. And Harper, well, I can't wait to read the book. Do you know how blessed you are? And, Harper doesn't like the God talk. Seems like Harper might be an atheist, and Lance is extremely religious. It's another thing in this movie that I thought was very interesting as time changes, how the viewpoint changes. Not of the people, in the movie, but of the audience. So in the late 90s, everybody was still going to church all the time. People were still, I believe, in some ways blinded to the way churches were. Now we in 2022, entering 2023, I think it's far more black people that are waking up from religion in the way that it was at this time. So more people would have been on Lance's side in the church portion of this. But now that we're older and we're looking at it now, I honestly understand why Harper feels the way he does. And when I watched this movie originally, we all thought that it was Harper's, master of the universe bullshit that made him an atheist. But really, it's looking at somebody that you feel like is full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me about God when I feel like essentially you full of shit. Like that's what I feel like was actually happening with this situation, as far as how they both saw religion. It's kind of how they see each other's personalities as well. He says he made this happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never on Lance's side, even in 1999. Lance is a hypocrite. He used God as an excuse. He did. He often did. Thought Harper was trying to be white. Yes, that's another thing that I feel like a lot of us felt about Harper in this moment. Like, pushing yourself away from blackness would also be pushing yourself away from the church mentality. But the older we've gotten, the more we've understood how hypocritical people in the church are. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like now people are more inclined to have Harper's mindset about this versus back then when the movie came out and more of them had Lance's mindset, because Lance just calls him ignorant. And it's like, no, like, essentially he wasn't wrong. I myself have had that understanding at one point, or that angst. I don't like when people act as if everything you have good in your life is because God blessed you with it, instead of because you worked hard for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that you don't have God on your side or you don't have God working in your favor, but we all know that you don't get what you want just because, you are faithful to God. You know what I'm saying? People don't wake up from the dead or not die, or you don't get the job just because you want it to happen and you said God's going to make it happen. That's not how any of this works. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I think in church, people take their own power out of their accomplishments and insert God into it in a way that is unhealthy. Not to say that God does not aid, but yes, faith without work. And there's a mindset to that where people think that whenever something happens, it's God's grace versus hard work. And I think as I get older, I understand how people feel. Like, no, it wasn't just because I prayed about it, motherfucker. Like, I worked real hard for this shit. I did this shit when I didn't feel like it. I did this shit when I was tired. I did this shit when I was sick. I did this shit when I didn't have a clue what was going to happen with it. And I kept doing it anyway. And yeah, that definitely, I feel like it's God pushing you, giving you the strength. Sure. But the way we talk about things, the way we communicate is important. And to take all of your power out of why you succeed in life is counterproductive. It's counterproductive because that attitude, I think, also takes accountability away from you when you make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It does both. If you're going to give God all the glory when you accomplish something, also when you do something wrong, it's not your fault exactly. The devil made me do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a mindset to that. Faith without work is dead. Absolutely. I saw somebody just dislike it. That's so funny. I know y'all be real upset about the church talk. And you can be upset. That's fine. I don't care. I feel the way I feel about it. Everything isn't because God, just dropped it in your lap. Like, that doesn't even make sense based on the Bible, and that doesn't make sense based on life. You have to work at things. And you can give God thanks and praise without taking your own efforts out of how you got there. Period. So that's just where I'm at with it. But anyway, I think their conversation is absolutely prevalent. Some people are ready for the true Bondi is the fifth dimension mindset. And that's why I got to keep, I got to keep inching towards it. It's tough because I know how people feel. They get so antsy or defensive or anxious when you say things that go outside of their religious wheelhouse. But sometimes if they would just listen and understand, they would understand it's not as far outside of it as you think. You just understand it in the wrong way. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's how I feel. I feel like they taught it to you the wrong way, so you understand it the wrong way. Like you think God is outside of yourself, and he's not. I believe we're our own gods, and we manifest things we want our life. The universe is the key. That's a little bit confusing to me as far as how you wrote it, but I feel like I understand exactly what you mean when you say that. And when you say you're your own God, people think it means that you believe you're higher than God. That's not what that means. It's not what that means at all. But you do understand. You tell your arms and your legs and your throat. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell your body what to do, like God acts in this world, right? So you're your own God because you're in control of yourself. And a lot of people that don't believe that they're in control of their self, they allow life to happen to them versus being in control of your life the way you should be. It's a mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that there is no God. It's just saying that you have to understand it in a way that is helpful to you versus harmful to you. And if you're always putting God outside of yourself, that means you're always looking outside of yourself for the things that you should actually be looking internally for. That's all. But basically. Yes, people are indoctrinated into being powerless. Yes. You are a manifestation of God's essence, but still have to choose with free will which way you choose to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. You are the master of your own fate and how you control your outer and inner. God gives you guidance and the push you need, but we're not puppets that God controls. Exactly. Y'all see what I'm saying, right? And I think when Harper talks to Lance makes it seem like it's all God that did it. When Harper is like, no, nigga, I wrote that book. Like, I wrote that book, So yeah, that didn't, now that we're grown, that I feel like is something that was a moment that when I was watching it originally, it didn't feel like it was a moment the way I do now. We are co-creators with God universe. God is within. Your intuition is your divine compass of life. Thank you, Dion. I am a great believer of that. I do believe my intuition is my connection to God and my gift from him in the first place. And not even just from him, from her, from they, from them. Okay? Because I also feel like it's ignorant to believe that there's no feminine in God. That doesn't even make any sense. But whatever y'all say. So after Lance finished giving Harper the God talk, Harper changes the subject. And Lance tells him to go ahead and slap bellies with Jordan for once in his life, plan on being a dog. And isn't that ironic, y'all? Isn't it ironic that the person that is most religious, most of God, is telling the one that's always controlling himself to just be free and go fuck on that girl. Go cheat on your girlfriend and go fuck on Jordan, okay? After just throwing God in his face. Do we not understand the cognitive dissonance of that? Because if we're actually supposed to be fully in this Bible the way you say you are, that shouldn't have been the advice. See what I'm saying? Oh my God. Cognitive dissonance. Completely ignoring what it really is, which is that you're telling your friend to go and cheat so you can make it seem like because you got your cross on and you holding your Bible that you are completely of God. Like, it is hilarious to me. Anyway, but then when you say shit like that, niggas won't throw out, God ain't make a nigga perfect. Yeah, we know. So stop expecting perfection from everybody around you as well. Okay, listen, I talk about this all the time. The Bible being used in politics, and a lot of people don't realize that. Rewritten to you as a control child. Y'all can dislike my video all y'all want to. It's the truth. It's the truth. Okay, Lance really was a hypocrite. For real. It's infuriating as a Christian, but that's exactly how most Christians are. You know that. Like, most Christians are going to talk that shit to you. Like, for instance, I told y'all I'm going to do this story time about when I got kicked out of prep. I'm doing that this week, okay? And one of the main core things about this whole situation is that I went to a Catholic school. So everybody is constantly trying to, push the Christianity and what God would want you to do on you, right? Punishing us for liking women and going against God at this school while simultaneously cheating on their spouses with other teachers. See what I'm saying? It's very weird to watch people wield God's judgment as they also do things that go against God's word. It's very, very weird. But yes. The hypocrisy, the cognitive dissonance, to have this, prestigious fortitude, you know what I'm saying? To judge people because of this belief system that you have, but then go against that belief system in private. It's crazy, okay? They got a lot of commandments, God forgive them. Okay? I said a lot. I didn't say all. I said a lot. But I feel like I can say all, because in essence, everybody has sinned, and a lot of people are still judgmental of people who they believe are bigger sinners. Okay? And I'm not speaking to y'all individually. I just mean like the church as a whole does a lot of this. Okay? A lot of this just judgment because you're not following the word while simultaneously doing things that go against the word in secret. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in the Catholic Church, visiting Rome and the Vatican and seeing the poor people outside of the golden walls while Jesus is teaching about lifting people up. Okay? Morris is not super short in real life. He might be like 5'7", like around that height. But bitch, I'm 5'3", so he was tall enough for me. Okay, when I met him. Okay, tall enough for me. All right. Shit, look, every woman ain't 5'11" with her heels on, sis. Okay, those of us short bitches, listen. If you are between 5'2", but you look 4'11" up until 5'4", any nigga 5'7", 5, you know what I'm saying, 5'7" and above is usually a good viewpoint. Okay. Right. You know what I'm saying, But yes, y'all, okay, Lance is telling, religious Lance is telling, very controlled, but, atheist Harper to plan on being a dog. Child, thank you for the super chat. Mary Sparkle's like, whoa, thank you. Appreciate it. Wait, what you say, girl? My most abusive relationship was with someone in the church. He was doing all the good things while being an evil son of a bitch in private. He's super popular among the women in the worst way. Girl, listen. Okay. Okay. Listen. Okay, come on, my short girls. I see y'all. So you guys, later when Harper is on the phone, he won't say I love you back to Robin because Jordan is standing in the doorway. Also very telling. And Robin picked up on it too. He's in his boxers and Jordan is playing it so cool, right? Like, did I put it up here, y'all? I didn't put the picture up here, but there's a picture of him, looking all Tay Diggs, late 90s, glistening and looking beautiful. He passing her because he got his little boxers on. He put a towel in front of the box and she was like, those are nice. He was like, yeah, Robin got those for me. She was like, the girl's got good taste. Child, I love it. And then they do what they always do, which is like a thing for them eventually, which is to walk and talk. And y'all, like as an adult now, and I mean like at 34 years old, to have a relationship with somebody that you can have long conversations with, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but isn't it the best shit? Because I sincerely feel like there are not a lot of people, men and women, that you can have, you know, long walking sessions, long phone calls, like just have a real good conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that is of such value as I've gotten older. The people that I can have the best conversations with, I like fully appreciate those relationships in my life. For real. Yes. Yeah, the intellectual chemistry. Yes. Okay. It's everything. Listen. Yes, that's the most intimate thing in the world. Bruh. Like the people in my life that I have like really long conversations with, like I love them. Because I don't get that with a lot of people. I'm not interested with a lot of people. I'm bored by a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Robin just collecting all the red flags, child. Ain't she? That was another sign. He can't tell you he love you because he in front of somebody. Come on now. You knew what was hood in that moment. You knew what was hood in that moment. Okay? But they go shopping for wedding gifts. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I don't want to skip that. So Jordan, first of all, he tells Jordan that she overworks, and she says he does the same thing. Okay, don't be judging me for the same shit that you do. So we see once again Harper and Jordan having that in common. She says Robin must be dumb or patient as hell to deal with him, and I'm like, it's a little bit of both. But she is getting that marriage itch, but he's not ready for marriage. They go shopping. They talk about Mia's cooking and how fantastic it is. And Harper has this moment where he is obviously remembering fucking Mia. Oh, that Mia. Little girl. I love her. Little Mia. I was like, little Mia. And then Jordan looks at him and she sees the look. She sees it. And she says, oh my God. You scandalous dog. And he's like, what? She was like, I just figured it out. We switched places. I was trying to make it understand because Casey and Jackson would just lie in the bed all the time and talk the way we used to. But what? Kendall, it said, I'm Kendall, right? And it says Jackson sexes me crazy, but we never had sex. We just switched. So she realized, because in the book, Jackson, Harper, sleeps with Kendall. That's not what happened though. In real life, they character switched. Casey is Mia. So now she realizes he fucked Mia. The same thing Quentin figured out very quickly, but hasn't said it yet. She figured out in that moment when she saw him, you know, just having this fond memory of Mia. And y'all, can we talk about why they kept, and I know Mia is short, like Mia is petite and short, but they are constantly referring to Mia as if she's a child, and I don't like it. Mia is childlike in so many ways, and I feel like I wonder what that would have looked like as she got older if she had not gotten sick. Because to be childlike, let me name the ways that Mia was childlike. First of all, Mia's childlike because she's being completely taken care of by a man, her boyfriend, now fiance. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is her feigning, ignorance to everything. Like she's the only one in the whole movie that's oblivious to everything that's going on. Very childlike. Y'all remember at the end of the movie, at the end of the movie, they about to get married and Lance has decided he doesn't want to do it. And she's back there crying because she didn't know whether she should wear her pearls or her diamonds. Completely delusional and oblivious to the fact that Harper just got his ass beat last night. You may not be getting married. Lance found out you... Like, she has no idea about any of this. And I think that's incredible that she went from that bachelor night, the bachelor party, all the way up to the morning of the wedding. And she has not talked to her groom-to-be yet. And hasn't gotten scared or worried at all. Only worried about which earring she should have worn. Y'all. Mia absolutely is childlike in this movie, and they characterize her in that manner, but I don't like that. It's something uncomfortable to me about the way the men kept referring to her as little Mia, and that's my angel, as if she was a child or something. You know what I'm saying? Lance would have cheated again had Mia not gotten sick. That's what I felt. I felt like she would have figured out that she lost herself, that her life was all for him and the kids. She would have gotten resentful. He would have cheated. You know what I'm saying? They might have made it back with a good pastor sit down. But ultimately, I feel like at some point, Mia was going to be a grown woman realizing that she was expected to act like some perfect fucking angel child. Like, what is this? Precious moments? Like, give me a break. Yeah, Mia was doing dirt and she knew it. She wasn't supposed to say anything about it, even to her bestie, because that's something that would have gotten out anyway. True. Okay, so let's continue on, y'all. She explains that they switch places. Casey is Mia and Jordan is Kendall. Jackson sex is Kendall crazy, but they never had sex. All Casey and Jackson do is sleep in the same bed like they used to all the time. Jordan tells Harper that he's sick, that he dedicated the book to Lance and Mia. She says, you know, he better use his feet and run if Lance finds out, because he was like, think about it, use your head. Why would I do that? Because you needed to purge. You felt guilty, and you thought if you veiled it that people wouldn't pick it up. But these are the people that know y'all. This is y'all friend group. Y'all know each other, so they were absolutely going to pick up on it, and he knew it. So just as he thinks that Lance won't be reading the book, he goes to see Lance. Lance is reading the book, and he's actually enjoying it because, you know, he's being called the ebony humper in the book for all of the, you know, all the snatch he got throughout the years. And he was like, Q was right. It's a page turner like a motherfucker. And this reminds me that Quentin was the one that probably really impressed Lance to read the book. Flashback to Lance coming to Harper crying about his wayward dick and asking him to pray and read a Bible verse about, you know, how to get over what happened with Mia, because Mia broke up with him after she found out that he cheated again. Okay, and so now he wants to cry and pray to God and ask for forgiveness, and he needs Harper to hold his hand and read the Bible verse. And I was just kind of like, oh, I was like, oh, okay. So the guys are hanging out, because we fast forward present day. The guys are hanging out, and Lance says that when Harper starts making big money from his book, he won't have to work for quality ass again. He won't even have to kiss them on the forehead, which is the panty dropper. So now everybody's realizing that Lance knows about that forehead kiss shit too. Okay? So when he gets to that part in the book, he absolutely is going to figure it out. He's getting all of this confirmation, because Quentin was like, what happened with the forehead kiss? Quentin messy as fuck. Okay. When they get, because they were going to try on the tuxedos and stuff, but everyone calls bullshit on Harp saying that he never does the forehead kiss to get the ass. Nigga, please. Jordan asked Mia about what happened with her and Harper. And Mia says, you know, she was like, come on, girl, you know I don't kiss and tell. And Jordan was like, bitch, don't make me hurt you, okay? And then Mia says, it was sweet. It was endearing. It was everything that I needed and wanted, okay? She was just like a forehead kiss. She said it was as sweet and as endearing as a forehead kiss. It was everything I needed and wanted, and I will always love him for that. And y'all, that means that not only did she get the revenge that she needed, but the dick was fantastic. And energetically, it did what it needed to do without her getting caught. Energetically, it did what it was supposed to do. Because by the time we find them about to get married, Lance is no longer a hoe. Okay? So they go to try on tuxedos, and Harper asks Quentin about if he's thinking about working with his dad. His dad owns real estate. His dad wants him to come and work for him. But Quentin doesn't want to do the type of work that entails. You know, he's not interested. And Harper says, yeah, it's too much like a regular job, right? And he was like, look, motherfucker, you gonna keep playing with me. Don't judge me because you doing dirt just like everybody else. You about to fuck Jordan tonight. And he thought he was about to call him out on Mia, but he called him out about planning to fuck Jordan and cheating on Robin, okay? So he was like, you just ain't get caught in yours yet. Murch asked to use Quentin's phone to call Shelby. And Quentin was like, man, no, she don't need to know your every move, okay? And tonight you need to have some fun. Grab a little ass. Trust me. And Quentin was right. Murch did not need to be answering to Shelby the way he was. I don't think anybody needs to answer to anybody in a relationship the way he was, okay? At the church, Jordan asked if she can put a camera in the church to broadcast the ceremony, and Lance says no. Some things are sacred, like between a man and a woman, but you wouldn't know anything about that. Completely out of pocket, y'all. Completely out of pocket. But his distaste for the type of woman that Jordan is sometimes shows through. And that was one of those moments. And Mia coddles him. He walks off and Mia is like, come on now, don't be like that. Harper saw it. So Harper goes over and asks if Jordan was okay. Another thing that I noticed, why is it that nobody checked him for talking to her like that? It was completely unnecessary. And nobody checked him for talking to her like that. She just had to eat that shit. She's helping them. She's planning their wedding. Okay, it could have been out of pocket for her to ask that, but you didn't have to talk to her like that. You didn't have to say that she doesn't know anything about a man and a woman, basically saying, oh, you can't keep a man, so you don't understand how important this day is. Boy, bye. Okay? But either way, that was a moment that I feel like was glazed over. That was some cruel shit to say to her. Anyway, so she says that she's fine. And then Shelby is questioning Julian about if he's going to take that job at the law firm and stop working with those ghetto kids. Child, she gonna run that man off. Jordan tells Harper she wants to make love to him tonight. He's annoyed with her for asking Mia about what happened between them, because she said, I asked Mia. And he was like, why would you do that? She was like, because I was curious. And he's in that annoying Harper mood where, you know, you're doing something that's inconveniencing him. So he's not picking up on the energy that you're giving right now. And she tells him that she was curious and she thinks that this is their second chance. Now, he has been feeling that way this entire time, but now he's acting all unsure of himself. He says that Robin is coming tomorrow, and then she kisses him. And she was like, you don't have to think about it right now. Just, you know, think about it and let me know. And so they go to the rehearsal dinner. Mia, once again, stands up to thank Harper for being their counselor, their best man, and just for doing everything that he's done. And I'm just like, she is laying it on thick as fuck, right? And because Lance has conditioned himself to see her as perfect, he was bothered by the way she was talking about Harper. Like, why you got to keep laying it on so thick with him? He felt it, but instead he's like, you know what? She's probably right. She's probably right. And he meets Harper in the bathroom. Harper think he about to get his ass whipped, but no, he was like, you know, I heard what Mia was saying and she's right, man. You know, I just want to let you know that I'm going to do, because he knows that Harper has always felt a way about the fact that he introduced them and Lance proceeded to dog Mia out. Okay. But anyway, he was like, I really wanted to thank you and I promise I'll be faithful to Mia. Harper is scared of that type of commitment. And Lance says if Mia ever stepped out on him, he wouldn't even question her about it because she forgave him for all of his wrongdoings. Harper was about to say something, but then Uncle Skeeter come knocking on the bathroom door and broke that shit up. I was like, thank God. I know. I love Nia Long with short hair as well. The bachelor party is about to start. And Shelby is begging Murch not to go. I really think it's more important that we work on our relationship tonight, Julian. Okay? But no, Murch tells her, listen, Shelby, I'm going to hang with the fellas tonight. I'll see you later. Okay? Because she was like, you know, she thought she had one. And he was like, fine. I'll see you in the morning. Murch. We all wanted Murch to raise up on Shelby's ass. Okay? And I'm going to just say this. there are a lot of, the thing I don't like about the simp thing is because I feel like most women don't want to walk over a man and don't want to be with a man that can be walked over. You know what I'm saying? To the point that a woman like myself, I wouldn't even want to be with somebody that would allow me to walk over them. But that don't mean I want to be with somebody that's going to abuse me either. Y'all niggas need to find a happy medium. Okay? But yes, you all. Murch was like, not today, good girl. Not today. All right? Harper is trying to get that book back from Lance by any means necessary, child. But he can't seem to get his hands on it. The strippers get there. Murch gets swept up by Candace, y'all. Oh my God. I love Regina Hall in this role. This was her breakout role. And apparently they only chose her because the wife of Malcolm Lee's wife, y'all, Malcolm Lee is the producer, director, writer, whatever for the movie. Director for sure. He's also Spike Lee's cousin. Regina actually had never danced before, didn't know how to dance, didn't know how to strip. But one of the girls who she was in acting class with was a stripper. So she was like, just bend over and clap your ass. And then that's fine. And that's enough. So she did that. And they ended up giving her a call back. Because they were like, can you do anything else? And she was like, yes. And then she walked out. I was just like, hilarious. But she ended up getting that role. And y'all, I love me some Regina Hall. Okay. It is literally one of the most memorable moments in the movie. Okay. Especially when she comes out, something luscious and sugary. Give it up for Candy. Okay, and she walk out and it's like, Candy, I can feel it when you walk. Okay, she hit that bow. Even when you talk, it takes over me. It's like, Candy, I wanna know, can you feel it too? Just like I do. Okay, listen. Nah, I'm actually hot. Okay, get this started now. It's the same feeling I always seem to get around you. Hold me, daddy. Okay, listen. He was like, do you love me? She was like, yes, daddy. Candy loves you. Oh, I love it. I love it. She did it. Okay, she did that shit. But y'all know, after that, Murch mind was gone. Quentin said, oh man, I'm jealous. Now, during this moment, Lance noticed that Harper had that book in his pocket. He's not done reading it. And he noticed it's the second time you done tried to get that book away from him. So now he put that shit in his back pocket. And when the party was over, he went to the bathroom so he can read it. And he read it. Shit. Damn. Motherfucker, ooh. Okay, listen, y'all know that was the song right there. Why are you sleeping with my woman? Why are you sleeping with my woman? Come as a surprise. I just can't believe my eyes. My best friend and my wife. Shit, damn, motherfucker. That was the shit, y'all. That damn Brown Sugar album was everything, okay? Anyway, y'all, because I'm almost done, y'all. I know we've been on here for a minute, okay? So Murch gets swept up by Candace. He felt like they had a connection, so he followed her out. And she was like, listen, that's a part of the business, provide the fantasy, but I keep my personal life very separate. And he ended up, quoting Audre Lorde, and she recognized it. And this is when we notice that they really do have something in common. So they start talking and shit. And you hear the other stripper girls say, that's what you get for hiring them college girls. And she was supposed to give the unexpected, college girl who doesn't really do this a lot, but has sex appeal. Like, that's the vibe she was supposed to give. Okay. So at this point, Lance finished reading that book, walk out, say, you fuck me up. Threw the book at him, knocked his ass out, beat his ass, and was about to throw him over the balcony of the hotel until Quentin slowly walked out of there and said, come on, Big Al, you don't want to do this. Okay, Quentin talked him down. And he tells everybody the motherfucking wedding is off. And the way he walked away and then walked into the bathroom, I was like, oh, that nigga probably know he could fuck. It's the body being kind of like bent in at the pelvis for me, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay? But it was the way he walked into the bathroom. I was just like, and I'd have still tried to fuck him. You angry? Anyway, y'all. So Harper goes over to Jordan's house, all bloody and messed up, killing the vibe as soon as she opens the door. Okay? And she was like, what happened? You know, guess. Okay? Harper sits down. And she was like, do you need anything? And he was like, no, you've done enough. And she was like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? He was like, they would be in marital bliss by the time the book came out if it wasn't for your ass, okay? Because you needed the exclusive. I almost got my fucking ass, thrown off the side of a building because of you. And she went, bow, smacked the shit out of him. How dare you, mister? You have some nerve blaming you for your skeletons. You're the one who wrote the book. You aired out your dirty laundry, Harper. No matter who you want to blame, it's you. He fucked up the whole mood. Again, no accountability. Exactly. He said, I'm sorry. We're two peas in a pod. I said, look, I'm horny. My emotions are all over the place, and I don't want to hear about no goddamn peas. Fuck you. Good night. Goes to bed. When Robin gets to town, he tells Robin all of what happened, including him trying to fuck Jordan. She was like, well, I'm glad you told me. And then she turns around to leave. And he's like, I need you. Of course you need her now that you all fucked up, bloodied and bruised and shit. Now you need the mother figure to come and save you, right? He begs her to help him. And she does. Why? Because Robin is a charitable person. And we learn that about her as time goes on. Okay? Always willing to give of herself. And yes, the smack was unscripted. She was having a hard time and she just did it. And Tay felt like he wished somebody would have gave him a heads up. Okay? Okay? He wished somebody would have gave him a heads up before Nia slapped the shit out of him. Okay? But she says that she wants to see what's been holding him back from her all this time. And I'm like, so Robin, the fact that you understand that there's something being held back from you, why isn't that enough to move on? Why isn't that enough to move on? Oh yeah, Robin absolutely mothered him. Absolutely. So at the wedding, Shelby is waiting on Julian. And she was like, I totally forgive you for last night, okay? And, I'm going to make you suffer for it later. But right now you need to get inside and get ready for the wedding, okay? She was like, I thought that you should continue to suffer and think about how you put our relationship in jeopardy. And he says, Shelby, we're over, honey, okay? We're over. I do not want to be with you anymore. And then here comes Candace. Hi, Julian. Hi, Candace. Okay, it is definitely over between Julian and Shelby, bitch. It is now Julian and Candace, okay? So no one knows where Lance is, but he shows up in a taxi with the same clothes on from the night before. He's just there to tell his parents what's up, then he's out. I said, you full of shit. You knew you showed up because you was gonna marry that girl anyway. That's why he showed up. Because if that was the case, he could have told everybody the wedding was off last night. He could have called his parents last night and said the wedding was off. But no, what did he do? He waited until this morning and then showed up at the church and ended up still getting married. But let me go blow by blow. So I just kind of feel like it was bullshit. He always intended to still marry her. Harper says Lance, because they were trying to stop him, y'all. The funniest shit was Jordan, Murch, and Q trying to stop Lance from going and telling his parents what was happening. So he's walking down the aisle of the church and they're both on both of his feet. And we remember that he's a football player, right? It was not working. Harper says, pray with me, brother. Okay, and then they go in the back. And he's like, come on, tell me what the Bible verse says. He pulls up the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery. And that was supposed to be the whole moment. And I would have been like, well, nigga, y'all ain't married yet, so nobody committed adultery yet. But the premarital sex part that's not in these commandments, but definitely somewhere in this book is in here. Do you want me to open to that page? I'm just saying that would have been me. Don't throw no motherfucking Bible in my face as we sit here at your wedding You're upset because you found out that your wife-to-be finally did what you did to her over and over again. And now it's all in your head. Okay? He tells Lance that Lance doesn't want the truth. He says the truth is Mia isn't perfect and you need to work on your football game, nigga. You ain't perfect either. And Mia is as close to perfect as you gonna get. Lance tells him that you can't control me, Harper, because you're not God. And it's like, that's the thing that y'all don't understand. Not believing in God does not mean that you think you're God. The only person that when somebody says we're our own gods, y'all, what that means is I'm in control of me. I am my God because I'm in control of me. I'm in control of this being. I'm not in control of you. Being a God does not mean being a God to everybody. No, it just means being in control of your own being. That's what that means, y'all, when people say that. And I think back in the day, if you were somebody that was an atheist or you weren't religious and you want to have, you want people to say you worked hard for something versus saying that God blessed you with it. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody has this idea that atheists believe they're above God. Like, I'm too smart to believe in God. And it's like, no. That's not what it is. Okay? You are only in control of yourself. To me, where people go wrong with this thought process is when they think they can control something outside of themselves. Okay? And he did have that problem of thinking that he can control everybody around him. That's why he needed to write, and he wrote people the way he wanted them to be in his stories. But you can't control other people. And that's just a life lesson that everybody has to learn, right? Because I feel even Lance, you talking about, Harper with his control issues. What about your control issues? Having to be some perfect example of a black, husband and wife and all of that shit. Like, in that, creating this very godlike idea of yourself that is unrealistic. So it's just hypocritical all the ways around. But in this moment, all of the church going people are like, right? Tell him he not God. Thank you for the super chat. God lives in me. Exactly. When they say you are an image, you are made in God's image. Yes, you are. But you have to think about it like it's in you. It's not up there. It's not out there. It's not down here. It's in you. And you are connected. Okay? Steve Harvey said atheists have no moral values. And that always rubbed me the wrong way, because how many people were in church and on Sunday and commit horrible acts Monday through Saturday? Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I don't agree that just because someone doesn't believe in God, that doesn't mean that they don't have morals. Like, no, some people could just feel like, I don't want the negative energy that comes with doing other people, treating other people like shit. Because essentially you harm people, or you decide to go and get involved in foolishness, right? That foolishness is then going to come back to you. People who have common sense know that, like, essentially they want to stay out of certain shit because they don't want to be involved in certain shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about morals, a part like being an atheist doesn't mean I now feel like it's okay to kill somebody because I don't believe in God. I'm not an atheist. I just want everybody to know that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that is the mindset behind it at all. I just think that they don't see factual, like, evidence of something. And if they can't see factual evidence of something, they can't believe it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the way things are, it's weird to me that people think that that's weird. But being, fully engulfed in a religion that doesn't fully represent you, that's okay. I think that's weird. I think it's all weird. I think that, our spiritual practices should be representative of who we are as a person, as a family. That's how I think those things should be thought about. But this moment, I just thought it was hilarious, because it was definitely a moment where Lance is trying to throw God at Harper, and it's like, nigga, we could throw it right back at you. Like, what are you talking about? You almost killed your homeboy last night. Is that God like, my dude? Anyway, I felt like everyone knew about the affair before the book even came out, and afterwards the friendship was never the same. The trust and closeness was just gone. Honestly, I feel like I don't think the closeness and trust was gone. Especially if you saw the show and you saw Best Man Holiday. I don't think it was over. But I do think the blinders had to come off. I think that there was there were blinders. I feel like everybody, and I think that's a real assessment, y'all. Like, think about it. In 30, at 30 something years old, I feel like I've had an awakening mind wise from the thoughts that I had when I was in my 20s, right? I think that's a part of their story, is that rose-colored glasses about life had to come off at some point. When you straight out of college, going into whatever field you want to be in, you know what I'm saying, your early mid-20s, going into your 30s, you may still be living in a part of your life that is not really real. It's all projective. It's all performative. It's all rose-colored glasses. And I feel like by the time we get to the place they're in the show, I think all of the rose-colored glasses about life have come off, and now we're really starting to find ourselves. And I think that it's so perfect because that's exactly the way life seems to work out. I don't know if it's just me, but the things that I understood in my 20s, I understand them more and differently now at this age. And I believe that by the time I get to the next, 20 years of my life, I'll have more understanding than I had at this point in my life. So I think when you watch the movie and then, the second movie and then the series, you really can see how everybody was at these stages in their lives where it's just like everybody else. You're not seeing things clearly. And I think at this point, they weren't seeing things clearly. Right. Okay. It's not just me. Quentin was, I think, tired of Lance's moral superiority and him thinking he was better than the group because of his good girl to be his wife. Yes, exactly. This would have come out way sooner if Q knew before. I think so too. I don't think everybody knew. Because Jordan was absolutely surprised. After the book and wedding, Harper and Lance probably kept in touch, but it was nothing like it was, hence the Best Man Holiday. Then they go through that and they're brothers again. Exactly. Hence Mia being on her pedestal for everyone. Yes, she definitely was on a pedestal for everyone. Like Harper preyed on her. She went to Harper. She knew what she was doing. Oh yeah, no, she absolutely knew what she was doing. That was catchback. Mia had decided. I mean, think about it. Girl, a man that's dogged you out and cheated on you repeatedly. Everybody knows the best way to hit that nigga up, hit him up style, is to go and hit somebody they care about. You don't go fuck no random. No, you go fuck somebody they love, that they care about, because you want that shit to hurt. And the best way to do it is to do it and not feel guilty about it, because to know it is like a secret justice. Outside of it being a secret justice, you never actually have to receive consequences for it. Mia never had to deal with the fact that she hurt Lance. She never had to deal with that. Never even had to see it. I think she was A1 if you ask me. Okay? But yeah, Lance says Mia is his earth and his queen. And he decides to pray. And he says, I always knew that Mia had done something. But I just never thought it would be you. I never thought you would be that same self-centered, backstabbing bastard. And I said, you know what, Lance? I think that is very hypocritical of you to call him the backstabbing bastard, as if that's not what you were doing to her the whole time. Isn't that funny? You feel like Harper fucking your girl is worse than you cheating on her over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, like that's just crazy as fucking me. Anyway, but the only thing that I have to give him is that when Lance decided to still marry her and he went out there and cried through the ceremony, y'all, I loved it. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. Do you know why? Because she had made herself so invaluable to him that he really didn't want to not be with her. Even after finding that out, Once he got a chance to really think about it, would you really not want to be with Mia because of that? Nope. It wasn't enough. He could not be friends with Harper. He could stay away from Harper. But not being with Mia after what Mia was for him. And Mia is giving shooting in the gym type shit. You know what I'm saying? The ones who really do help you with your career. The ones who really do help you make the best decisions. Like, she really was everything that he wanted and needed. So essentially, it hurt him. It was almost like the death of an ego. The way he had to cry through that ceremony and still marry her, and she has no idea what's going on. And y'all, the one line that I picked out, I told y'all about, a woman's virtue is a man's greatest honor. That is such bullshit. It's bullshit, y'all. It is. It's bullshit. A woman's virtue is a man's greatest honor. As you marry a woman who gave her virtue to your best friend, who's your best man, who's standing beside you right now in this wedding proceeding. Okay? Mia gut punched that man. Oh, did she? Oh, did she? And then still got everything she wanted. And I feel like people would look at her and feel like she wrong. But I feel like, no, I think she played the game perfectly. And I also feel like God is funny. Because I think when you look at somebody's life in its entirety, Mia wasn't going to live for long. You know, they didn't know that at this point. But in the movie, you know, and everything in the storyline of these characters, Mia doesn't have all of the time. So he, you know, it was best for Lance to let it go and to not let her feel it, because then they were able to go on and have the bliss that was their lives for the time that they had it. Had he been mad and held on to that, he would have wasted time that he did not know he did not have. You know what I'm saying? Mia wasn't wrong, but Harper was. Oh yeah, most definitely. Harper was wrong because that's your friend and you knew he loved her. So you shouldn't have been that nigga. Not at all. But also I feel like it was almost like the catchback. I think Harper felt a way about the way Lance treated Mia too. So it was like, okay, I'm partially to blame for you being with him in the first place. So if I'm the person that gives you the revenge you want, then that only seems poetically right, I think. Thank you for the super chat, Jania. He knew he low-key deserved it from Mia, but felt that Harper was worse because he was his best friend. Yeah, which is understandable. Absolutely understandable. As if she has no value unless it's tied to him. Yes, Mia received the least character development out of the cast, so I agree. She really did. Mia got that get back and died on him. Damn. Why you had to say it like that? Oh my God. Mia did what she was supposed to do. We didn't get to go too deep into it, but Lance did more to her besides cheating. So she got her revenge once and made sure it counted. Yes. Yes. And that's why I said energetically it did what it was supposed to do, because he was changed after that. I honestly think that if she had, listen, if Lance had not found out before he married Mia that she did that shit, he would have cheated on her in their marriage. He would have cheated on her consistently in their marriage if she had not fucked Harper and he found out about it. Because I feel like that made him think, shit, if she'll fuck my homeboy when I'm in college cheating on her, I don't even want to see what it's going to look like if I dog her out during this marriage. So I think that made him handle her, you know, like somebody he was scared to lose, versus before when he felt like he can do whatever he wanted to do because she just wanted to be with a rich football player and she was going to stick around because she loved him and the pussy curved to his dick. So as soon as he figured out that, you know, somebody else could get that pussy to curve to their dick, then all of a sudden you treating people like they deserve to be treated. Okay? All of a sudden you can give her the respect she's been giving you now that you realize that your feelings can get hurt too. I would go as far as to say Mia was never meant to be a main character or a main member of the group. She always been a plot device, side character, never main, hence no character development. She's always been a catalyst of some sort. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that. From Hey Faith is a substance. Thank you for the super chat. I always thought that Harper was low-key jealous of Lance. It's that whole preach and Kokis from I forgot his how you pronounce that name, from Cooley High Dynamic. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. Ugh. And Tay Diggs even looks like Glenn Turman. Y'all know I love me some Glenn Turman now, child. Okay, so y'all know wedding cognitive dissonance. Okay, you picturing Harp fucking your old lady and marrying her at the same time? A lot. Harp does a speech. He was about to read it, but Quentin took the paper and said, nigga, do it from the heart. And he says that you have to let go of the past and walk out on faith. Focus on what you have built because it's worth preserving. So basically, what Harper was saying in his speech at the reception was forget about Jordan and focus on Robin, who represents the present. Jordan represented the past. So I think that was what made him feel like, you know what, for once, let me be in this moment with this person. But it was him doing what he always does, which is then going to the future on us. Like, why you couldn't just be in the relationship as y'all were? Why did you have to propose to her at their wedding? Because secretly you are competing. Because secretly you are competing. You don't want to say you are, but to me, when he stood up and proposed to Robin in front of everybody, it was to show to everybody else, look, y'all, I'm good now. I'm going to have mine too. I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was. It was, I'm not worrying about Jordan anymore. I'm letting Jordan go. And I'm letting go of, the past. I'm going to be in the present. But yes, no ring, no real thought behind it. Just something to do to prove something to the friend group. Okay? So even though I feel like Robin had the character development eventually, she's another one. And this is the thing. This is the theme, y'all. Think about it. The only person that had real character development, not even really, was Jordan. And Jordan didn't even really have it like that. But Jordan was a part of the male friend group, okay? Melissa DeSouza's character, she was not a part of the male friend group. She was fucking one of the males in the friend group. But she was not a part of the clique. Jordan was a part of the clique, and she still barely had any character development besides businesswoman, career, but still want the dick. You know what I'm saying? It was given, I have to make a choice between the two, right? So back then, I think that it was clear that they saw the women as, what I said, be characters in the men's lives. The women had to take a back seat because this is a story about the men. Right? And in this world we live in, this society we live in is very male-centered. So that's why, even though these women were huge pulls of this movie, these women were huge in this movie. If you pay attention, all of them didn't have as much character development because they were simply just fixtures in the men's story. Okay? So it wasn't just Mia. It was also Robin. It was also Shelby. And it was Jordan. Because Jordan is the I'ma do everything for my homeboy, I'ma do everything for everybody type of thing. Yeah, Shelby and Mia were sorority sisters and they became friends. But if in the first movie, it was like, get your girl. Jordan did not fuck with Shelby like that. They may have changed that as we get into the second movie and we get into Best Man Holiday in the show. But in this version of it, Jordan was friends with Harper, Lance, Quentin, and Julian. Okay? Shelby went with Julian. Then Robin went with Harper. And Mia went with Lance. And then she formed friendships with the women, especially with Mia. But the friendship with Mia was because of her friendship with Lance. And I think her friendship with Lance and all of the other men was because of her relationship with Harper. Okay, so essentially, even though she was a part of the friend group, all of the women are literally on the outside looking in with the men. And again, that's something that is representative in this time period. Because once we get to the actual show, I think it switches a little bit. I think the women become the catalyst for lifestyle changes. They become the story that we're paying attention to the most. Even if, because I feel like with Murch, with Murch and Candace, they both have their respective things going on that we're seeing, but I felt like we saw a little bit more of Candace's than we did of Murch. Same thing with Jordan's character. You know, Jordan got way more playtime in the show than I think Harper did. You know what I'm saying? Harper almost seemed like it wasn't really about him being fixed as much as it was about the women being fixed and the men having to change because the women changed. And in real life, y'all, a lot of times that's the way these things happen. When men have, you know, wives that are forward thinking, or those women are spiritually connected and they're constantly trying to evolve in their lives, it affects the men that they're with. And then the men escalate in some way in a spiritual, mental, emotional manner. And I'm saying this because I saw it with my own parents. You know what I'm saying? My mom was always like this endless well of like spirituality and love and patience and all of this, right? All of this grace that she would always have. My dad was hard. And over the years, it was like she softened him. You know what I'm saying? Until he gets to a point where he's not the same as he was. He's different. He's a little bit better. And it's because of her. You see what I'm saying? But it was because of the type of person that she was. I feel like it's the same thing with all of the women. They had to be the catalyst for these men to change or to do more or to be better in one respect or another. So as much as it is a man's world, it would be nothing without a woman. Okay? Because all of the women basically pushed the storyline forward. Show, more so than it did in the movie. I saw somebody said the show was boring. I don't agree. I thought it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I watched it twice in 2 days. And we're going to review it. You know what I'm saying? But I really, really love the way them coming out with the show. We can circle back around to the movie and look at the beginning and then go to Best Man Holiday and look at that one and really connect to the characters long term, because it's very beautiful the way it shows up. It shows up extremely realistic to way life is. And I love seeing these characters grow like that. I think that's a blessing, because there are so many movies and shows where you would have loved to see their life, you know, the character's life in long form. And we're actually getting a chance to see that with The Best Man, seeing these characters' lives in long form, seeing the lessons being learned through it, you know. And I can't wait to talk to y'all about the show, especially from Robin's standpoint. Robin's part of the show to me is one of the best parts. It's given Eat, Pray, Love, and I love it. Okay. I love Harper and Jordan's relationship. When they danced at the wedding and she tells him Robin is beautiful and she's the one, and she tells him that she loves him. When you have a relationship that starts out or in some way has physical attraction, but the relationship surpasses the physical point and turns into a relationship that fills you in other ways for a prolonged period of time, like their relationship, I think it's profoundly valuable. And I don't think that was really noticed in this first one. In this first movie, I don't think we paid attention. I think we felt like Jordan and Harper were just going to be over now. But to see that the friendship between them persisted, the friendship continued to grow. By the time you get to the series and you see how often they meet up just to talk and bounce ideas off of each other, I think it showed that even though things happen the way they're supposed to happen, they're still soulmates. The original assessment that Jordan and Harper are soulmates, absolutely agree with it. People just have to understand that soulmates doesn't always mean my husband, my wife, my partner in romantic. No, it means a soul that you are so familiar with from a previous life or previous lives that in one life you cling to them in a way that is unexplainable. I have a friend like this. I have a friend that I have that type of relationship with. And I literally just finished talking to her today. And it's crazy, you know, as we've gotten older, how our relationship has changed from what it was when we were 17 and 18 to what it is now at 34 and 33. It is extremely valuable, but it is also not a relationship in this time that is a romantic one. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like their relationship really, really was the biggest part of the story, and we didn't really get to see it. And I also feel like we didn't get to see as much of it in the series. I think the series needs to come back. I know they said final chapters, but I think we need the best man new beginnings. Okay? Q and Shelby ending up in bed together, okay? Because you know we get that scene during the wedding where Quentin catches the garter and Shelby catches, well, actually pushes the girl out the way and catches the bouquet, and then you know he does the little thing with the garter belt and puts her foot in his mouth, and she was like, you know, he was like, tell me you like it, and she was like, stop, and she runs, and then Lance was like, don't let her get away, and he went after her, and then they ended up in the bed together, girl. Ciao. When I tell you, in the series, their relationship is one of the best parts to me, so I can't wait to talk about that. Okay. Robin, there was a moment, I don't know why my notes messed this up. Robin finds Mia crying about something going wrong. She has the jitters. Jordan comes in to tell her, but she can't. And then Robin says that Lance is running late, and she also accidentally calls Jordan Kendall. My notes got mixed up with that. But before I go, I guess I can just talk about that moment right quick. That was the moment when Robin and Jordan meet each other for the first time without even really meeting each other. But it was a moment where Jordan wasn't being the Miss Fix-It, because Robin was coming in and giving Mia the it's okay girl thing, because that's who she is. You know what I'm saying? So it was like seeing that she was more emotionally intuitive than Jordan, you know? So you could see how her placement in the friend group could be as the more emotionally intuitive person, so that Jordan doesn't have to always be emotionally responsible for her friends, because that's not the space that she's really in. Robin can then take up that spot. And I felt like that was the same thing with Harper, where she's more emotionally in tuned than Jordan is. And for Harper, I think he wanted a woman that was more emotionally in tuned at that moment. But yeah, y'all, essentially, y'all know I love the movie, and I think it brought out so many important, just conversations. And I really implore y'all to check out the series on Peacock if y'all have not. I enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. And I feel like there are so many different parts of it that we can expand upon and we can see more of. So I can't wait to talk to y'all about that one as well. It's more special than a romantic relationship. Exactly. That's why Robin has such a problem with Jordan and Best Man Holiday, because he wasn't talking to her, but to Jordan, besides them almost hooking up. Yeah. True. Harper and Jordan were two ships passing in the night. Robin did her thing in the series. Yes, they be kissing friends though. Listen, it happens sometimes. Y'all got unfinished business to handle together as soulmates. Important to understand why you came together. Yes, and that's another thing. When you realize the soulmates thing, I think means that there's some level of I guess existence where you are like, this person is going to teach me this lesson. And I think that the people that stick with you, the people that are soulmates, they are meant to teach you something in this life. And I feel like my friendship, probably that was one of the relationships that has definitely taught me that I don't have to control the connection in order to have the connection. That was a great life lesson for me. You know what I'm saying? Because literally one of my most valuable friendships comes because I was able to let go of being in a relationship with that person in the way that I had found them, versus how it actually ended up being, just really just one of those people that you really can like talk to about anything. They know you, you know them, that type of thing. And it's a very valuable relationship to have, but I feel like there aren't many people that will understand that. There aren't many people that will have that type of connection with somebody, to have their friendship switch and change over time. And then when you look back on it, they've taught you some life lesson that you didn't even realize they were supposed to be teaching you. But it's how things happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say twin flames instead, because of sexual tension. I thought Harper was about to get divorced in the series. You gotta watch it. No spoilers. I've been obsessed with Morris Chestnut since I first saw him in Family Matters, and he played a football player in that too. Yeah, I love this movie. I'm on episode 6 in the series. Okay, I think it's more karmic. Yeah, I definitely think if they expand upon the series, Harper and Jordan will end up together for sure, and in a way that is probably better than if they would have been together younger. Robin was better than me because I got 2 women I got to console who has and is trying to sleep with my man. Who, that was a lie. Wasn't it though? Thank you for mentioning that. The type of person that Robin has to be standing there cool and consoling 2 bitches that had sex with her man. You know what I'm saying? Bondi, do you feel like Jordan is wrong for flirting and kissing a married man? People said Harper was wrong, but so is Jordan because she constantly was in Robin face but kissing Harper. When did she kiss Harper besides in the series? And I don't want y'all to keep giving stuff away, but I don't recall. Did they kiss in the holiday movie? I'm gonna have to watch it again. Thank you for the super chat. It is titled The Final Chapter, Season 1. So I hope that means more seasons. Me too. Thank you for the super chat, Pamela. But yeah, no spoilers, y'all. I don't think they can bring the series back without Terrence Howard, and he's in a space where he doesn't want to act. I'm gonna need for that nigga to get over that. I'm gonna need for that nigga to get over that, okay? Because I thoroughly enjoyed him in this. Yep, they can help you at different level stages of your life during different progressions and perfections years in your natal chart. Soulmate. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, she had a man in that one. So that wasn't something that was just happening over and over again. I don't want y'all to be trying to out here making Jordan look like she was just some skip scab scallywag, okay? Robin should have confronted Jordan. She took her shot at Harper soon as issues came with Robin and Harper. Also, I blame Harper because he been with almost all the women in the group. I don't recall them kissing in Holiday because they didn't. She had her Latino man in that one. That's what I thought. They only kissed in the movie, and y'all trying to give out spoilers in the series, but we're gonna talk about it. So no spoilers, y'all. I never believe in the idea of a soulmate. I think you should. Because it's not about the person you're in a romantic relationship with, y'all. Soulmates really mean like the souls you've already come into contact with before. If you believe in being here before, I do. I believe that, like your family members, your parents, like they're soulmates too. Because their souls recognize yours. Y'all may go through several life cycles being different people to each other, but the souls being connected to one another. So yeah, soulmate doesn't necessarily, to me, it's not just about a romantic relationship. It's also about just the souls that you connect with in this life that you were probably connected to in a previous life. Right. Mia and Jordan. Yeah, no, Robin way better than me. I mean, not the holiday movie. I meant the series. Right. I thought Jordan's man in the sequel. Yes. Was white, not white Hispanic. He not Hispanic? I thought he was Hispanic. I believe in soulmates. I have one right now, but we're just friends. We know that will be ours one of the exactly. And it doesn't have to be more than that. It's just really about your connection to somebody, caring about somebody, but that doesn't always have to come with sexual energy to it. Terrence said that before, but Q is the character that keeps bringing him back. I feel like as long as he's written well, Terrence will come back. He better come back because I really want to see more of this. Harper kissed Jordan's forehead in the Best Man Holiday and Robin walked in. But that wasn't what it was though. That wasn't the situation. That was about that was about Mia. They had just found out about Mia having cancer. So that wasn't about that either. And I think that's another thing is understanding how regardless to what the connection may be, the energy of caring about somebody is what is there. So, he's white. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought he was Latino. I feel like I've seen him in something where he was like playing a Latin lover or something like that. Okay. Malcolm Lee said it was only a limited series and wouldn't return, but I hope it does. I ain't trying to hear that, Malcolm. Okay. I ain't trying to hear that. It was Eddie Cibrian in the sequel. Right. He was Hispanic. Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. Child. You can be white and be Latino, y'all. It's okay. Y'all, we not really spoiling it for y'all. Y'all still have to watch the whole series before y'all know what happens. But yeah. Anyway. And in order not to do any more spoilers, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank y'all so much. 758 of y'all in the room. Make sure y'all like the video on y'all way out. Share it. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see y'all tomorrow for something else. I'll probably come to my members with a BondyBlue show. And I think I might do that story time on Thursday. Okay? So, love you guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure y'all check out the series. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.